Seconds in. Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow-raising, the bearded toyholic. Of course, I am the Mad Montreal Man, and a little bit something different today. We're not doing anything new, because keep in mind, anyone who watches the show knows fully well by now that in Canada, we don't get action figures before anybody else. No. On average, us Canadian collectors, we normally get the action figures 1 to 2 months, sometimes later, than the people do in the States. And because I'm not sponsored, I don't have connections to, say, McFarlane Toys or any other company. I don't get advanced toys. So right off the bat, I'm going to say thank you to all the people who actually do watch these videos, because I know you probably already saw that someone reviewed this figure before or whatnot. But thank you. Thank you for watching the shows. And hopefully Stéphane Tertreau, Mr. Tertreau, owner of Import Dragons, co-owner of McFarlane Toys, and currently the owner of EBGames Canada, maybe see this and will say, hey, let's do some more Canadian content with this guy, meaning me. But that's besides the point. But as I was saying at the start of the show, I'm doing something a bit different today, because I was going through some videos and I realized I did not open these up yet. Now, I did do these figures, but I did the platinum versions. So I figure, you know what? It's about time I take a second look at these characters and do the regular version. So today we're going to be doing the Huntress, but the regular version. We're going to be doing Simon Baz Green Lantern, the regular version, and of course, Power Girl, the regular version. I thought I'd open them up, but apparently I opened up the platinum ones, which you saw if you watched the channel. I reviewed those, and didn't get around to opening these guys up. So I figured, let's take a second look at them, and let's even do a comparison. Let's see if my opinion of the platinums still holds versus the regulars. So let's start off with good old Huntress number 23. We'll get my good friend Dr. Scalpel out, and yeah, let's start getting to it. I know when I first reviewed the Huntress, I was basically saying, I know they call her Helena Bertinelli. To me, she's Helena Wayne, but in some ways I can sort of see one's not the Wayne, one's the new one. And it's not just in the costume. There's been other versions of the costume as well. You'll see in the close-ups, one of the backdrops I use is the original Huntress costume, which I would love to get that in an action figure. But I'm gonna figure out which one I like the best at the end of the show. Like I said, unscripted. But let's finish taking her out of the package, and we'll be back after her close-up. Well, you saw the close-up. I did do a comparison side by side in the video of both Huntresses. Same card as last time. Spare faces. Now, I did swap out the face she came with that slightly happier face, because that's the more grumpy face. Still has the punching fists and, the other hands. But let's take a look at the black costume of the Huntress, Helena Bertinelli. Now, I like the wired cape. I find this face does work better. But if I look at the two of them, that's why I drop stuff on the floor, I have to admit, it's hard to say, I kind of like the black version better. Not because I don't like the, what I call the Helen Wayne version. It's just the fact I like black. It's a color I like to wear. Now, both figures have the same problem. The hair. The biggest problem with this figure is the hair. It really limits, I'm going to put her down. It really limits the amount of posability. And like I said with the previous Huntress, it makes it seem like her head's doing this. So that's the one thing I'm disappointed in, is the head, is because of the hair, it limits the position, just seems a bit odd. This face sculpt is better than the grumpy one. I love the wired cape. Ankle problems, same with the last one. Overall, it's kind of a tie for the most part when I think about the two. Batman's daughter, Mobster's daughter, pre-New 52, New 52 kind of thing. Yeah, but you can sort of see it does make the faces look a bit weird, So the biggest drawback with these guys is the head. This is one of the ones where I recommend getting them, but find a spare head. A good head that I've used on a few other figures is the Batman Beyond Batgirl head, because it's black hair, it fits nicely. You just have to probably get a mask on her, but yeah, there he is. The Huntress. And there she is. Yeah, it's it's all right. I'm not going to complain, but I have them now both on the shelf. Neither one's front of the shelf, unfortunately, mostly because of the head and the hair. I do like the wired cape, black and white, wired cape in purple. I like the wired capes. It's just that disappointed. They disappointed me a bit, and that's all I have to say. So I'm going to put these two down, and let's move on, shall we? Let's do, Simon Baz, Green Lantern, yes. Or, as I looked at the videos, I realized I did the variant of this guy, which was Power Ring Simon Baz. So, once more, let's make this video longer, because when you watch other YouTubers, they normally do one figure, max two. They keep the video short, but I try to keep it short. I do my best, like 20 minutes, sometimes longer. But that's why I'm unique. And not only do I show my face, you don't just see my hands, is because I'll actually do more than one figure, and I'll talk about it, and I'll take him out of the package, and we'll be back after his close-up. same card as last time. Not going to make a big deal of that. Same accessories. You got the punching fist, which you saw in the video. You got the drill, the hammer, and of course, his very own power battery. I did swap out the face he came with, because frankly, I don't like the gritting teeth. And just to be different from the power ring, I didn't want to give him the same closed mouth. And I did put the glove hand on him. One thing I want to say right off the bat is McFarlane Toys, you missed an opportunity. If you saw in the close-ups, I had a background screen. When he first appeared, he carried a gun. He had a gun belt, everything else. Missed opportunity. Oh, and I know DC doesn't want you to do guns and toys. You could at least given us the gun belt and the holster. We could have found our own guns for it, because it would have been really cool to have a first appearance Simon Baz. Now, I'm also surprised that they didn't make the variant Jessica Cruz, because that would have been really cool, because, two Green Lanterns together, the team. But we got Power Ring. So, as you saw in the close-up, I put them together. Power Ring and Green Lantern. Same body buck. I do admit, the faceplates go on extremely well on these guys. It's amazing. I'm a Green Lantern guy, so Power Ring is cool, but, I'm a Green Lantern guy. I like Green Lanterns. Not my favorite Green Lantern of all. However, I must admit, when it comes to the design, I really like the design for his Green Lantern. I like it. I mean, John Stewart's designs are kind of like okay over the years. Jessica Cruz's design is really nice. But when it comes to like a Green Lantern design, Kyle Rayner did something different. He did something different. I actually like it. And before you ask, no, I do not have the Kyle Rayner in the blue Lantern suit, nor do I have the Kyle Rayner in the white Lantern suit. I don't. Never found them. But no, this one is pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. I probably won't leave this on. Maybe I will. Who knows? But no, this is one I do recommend if you see it and pick them up, especially if you create a Green Lantern force, which I'm getting there eventually. I'll have all of them that they McFarlane will make, because I know we only have a limited time left to get as many DC multiverses as we can. But yeah, I'm really happy I got them. I know some people, I'm in a group on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook group. You know who you are. DC collectors, out there. Some of you guys have been collecting the old Green Lanterns and mixing them with the multiverse Green Lanterns. Yeah, it kind of works because they're aliens. But I'm a multiverse guy, so I prefer these guys. Not bad. I'm happy I finally opened them up, because when I looked at my shelf with the Green Lanterns, he wasn't there. Now he is there. Will he be front of shelf? Maybe next to Al Jordan, just because Al Jordan's my guy. I don't know. But let's move on. Oh, by the way, yeah, ankle problems again. It's weird, but if that's my only complaint for the figure is ankle problems, that's not too bad. All right, the one that was controversial, the one that people kind of freaked out about. She's too tall. She's too big. Power Girl in a more traditional outfit. So for the last time today, let's get my friend, your friend, the sharp one, Dr. Scalpel out. There's your credit, Dr. Scalpel. There you go. And let's... this one I enjoyed doing because I know a lot of people bought her, kept her mint in package. Not anymore. No, it's one of those things where, to me... Okay, a little bit of an editorial here, a little bit of a commentary. I haven't done one of these in a while. When it comes to the toy industry, especially action figures, you have to realize that the main people who buy these things are adults, adult men. And why do we buy these things? Because, well, it's what we enjoy. It's our hobbies. And for a lot of guys out there, their hobby is this action figure collecting. And I encourage it, because what other hobbies are you going to have? Drinking, going out, partying. Spend your money on action figures. It's still something to have. It's something to display, to be proud of, something you can talk about. And for a lot of people, one of the reasons why at the end of every show I say those three things, which I will say at the end of the show again, is this is their mental health. For me, this is, in some ways, a bit of mental health for me. Because, as you know, this show is not very successful. I have loyal followers. You guys are my loyal followers, and I thank you for that. I don't pay money to get thousands of subscribers, but I don't get preview stuff. But I do this as a way of sort of mental health. It gives me something to look forward to once a week. And I also know that for the few of you who actually watch the show, you enjoy it. You like laughing at me or laughing with me, or you just want to see an action figure. So in some ways, it's that little bit of mental health. And with one of my friends in Vancouver, he's going through a bit of a hard time right now. He's had to cut back on one of his real hobby is comic books still. He's still been buying comic books for all these years. And he's got a good job, he's married, but with the economy and everything else going on in his life, he's having to cut back. And he messaged me the other day, and he's saying, it's like he's down to only one comic book now. And I can tell that it's affecting his mental health. So I will message him privately, but it's something you should consider when watching someone talk about action figures, is that it is a mental health thing. Because guys, let's be honest, as you know, especially since last year, men's mental health is very important to me. And guys, and if you're a woman watching the show, then you should know this about men. Men don't talk about their feelings that much. We get lost in our hobbies, and our hobbies become our mental health. And I'm not just talking about Generation X. I'm talking about even some younger collectors too. I've talked to quite a few people out there who have collections, not necessarily of DC Multiverse, but they all say that their collecting is what keeps them able to function normally. So one person recently asked me, well, you must be sponsored because you always plug these stores at the end. Well, number one, I'm not sponsored. I plug those stores because either I've shopped there, or I've had interactions with them, or I've heard really good things about them. Okay? Right off the bat. I'm not sponsored. He also made a comment saying, well, what's with the messages at the end? Well, it's because it's important to me to try to encourage people to continue their hobbies. And I asked him, well, why do you ask? He goes, well, I watch your videos. And no, he didn't like or subscribe. He's one of those guest watchers on YouTube, so their views never count. And he then brought up a comment about my GoFundMe. Well, why should I donate to your GoFundMe? And I went to him, well, it's really simple. These cost money. And to get the message about for mental health, the way I do it through this channel, it's not always easy, and it's expensive. And, even if someone just donates $5, it's going to help. Long term, it's going to help. Every little bit helps. Unless I get sponsored. Once again, Mr. Tetrou, look me up. But, no, and that's why I do it. So if you are one of the guys out there who watches this show, do your best, as I always say at the end. Keep collecting. I know it's hard nowadays with the economy, but keep collecting. If you know someone who's a collector, help them out. This is their mental health. This is how they keep a grasp on functioning every day. If you're married to someone or you're dating someone who's a collector, don't put them down. Do not discourage them from collecting. Don't go, you could spend your money on something else. It's a choice you make. I myself make a choice to limit my food intake, dietary-wise. I don't go out and buy tons of chocolates. I don't drink beer. I'd rather spend what little cash I can afford on action figures because it's good for my mental health and yours. And yours. I wouldn't say Shane, because Shane's got a wonderful woman. He's got a great family. He's got great friends. But even for Shane, he gets a good laugh out of this. So I'm going to finish taking her out of the package. Enough of the serious bit now. Let's get back to taking her out of the package, tossing a close-up, and get back to talking about Power Girl. Same cat. Even though I think I do remember at one point her cat wasn't brown. I might just be, having a Mandela effect there. And I'm not talking about that yellow cat that was in one issue. No, but same little cat statue, same card, same punching hands. Nothing's different with the figure when it comes to accessories. Now, as for Power Girl stuff, well, you saw in the close-up, I did compare Power Girl to Power Girl, or technically speaking, I would refer to her more as Power Woman, because, let's be honest, she's not a teenager anymore, okay? I remember when I watched the video of this thing, and I remember watching this, I love the jacket. I really like the fact that she's posable, the details, I loved. So let's talk about this Power Girl. Well, everything's pretty much the same. The boots have the gold highlights, I like that. I don't want to get into this. Same costume design at the top, which a lot of people over the years made controversy over it, but it always made sense to me. I mean, in the comic books itself, she said it herself, it makes you look there. It's a distraction, and it works. The hands, same hands. I do find the fingers a little bit weird posed, but whatever. This is more of a traditional looking Power Girl. No pant legs, and so forth. Face sculpt is really nice. Actually, it's a shame that we didn't get a switchable head, because pissed off eyes, happy face, basically. I do like them. Which one do I like better? Well, compared to some of the costumes Power Girls had in the past, that Justice League one that was horrible with the freaking headband, oh god, that brings back nightmares. That was a horrible costume. I'm kind of conflicted, because on one side of me, I like the fact that the jacket is, actual material. It's, removable if you really want to take it off. The details on the jacket are really nice. I like the pant look. I kind of like it. But at the same time, too, I really like the classic look of Power Girl. And I'm not talking about the Atlantis version, which they did either. Oof, another nightmare. So I'm kind of conflicted. Part of me is saying, well, for traditional sake, this is really cool. This is the Power Girl I remember reading. This is the Power Girl in comics now that I've only seen some artwork for them. I haven't read Power Girl since I stopped buying comics when I couldn't afford them. So, it's not going to happen very often. It's a tie. They're both front of the shelf. This may sound like a bad pun, but it's a great pair of action figures to have at the front of your shelf. Yes, editor, I know that's kind of, obvious what kind of pun it is, and I'm sorry if I offended you, but it is a good pair. A pair is a duo of action figures. Yes, another pun. But no, that's pretty much it for the show. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the second look at these figures. I'm happy I finally took them out of the packaging, because now I can actually have Simon Bass with the Green Lanterns. I can have both Power Girls with some Supermans, which is really nice. Huntress, I have both versions, sort of, even though I still want the original Huntress costume. Just saying, it'd be cool. But that's pretty much it for the show. I will, for this show, still have my usual credits. Going forward, though, I probably will shorten the credits a bit to basically just mention where I got the action figures for that week. I do have a large order. Apparently, I've got 10 action figures that have shown up at EBGames that I'll be picking up soon, which also means I'm going to be broke again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Trying to keep the channel going for as long as I can. So if you do like the show, hit like. Subscribe if you haven't done it already. And if you're one of those people who watches as a guest, sign into YouTube. Make an account. You don't have to do videos to have a sign-in account. You just sign in and comment and share. I will also try to find links to import dragons for you to put into the credits at the end as well. But I mean, down below in the credits, not on the video. I will also put links to McFarlane Toys, some contact information for people if you can. But if you do know someone who wants to sponsor a show, like I said, if you want to sponsor a show, there's ways of doing it. One way, of course, is that GoFundMe. But no, it's it's important to me to keep the show going for as long as McFarlane Toys does DC Multiverse, and maybe even past that. Hopefully, I will be able to solve all my financial problems that I have with taxes come October. Story for another day. But for the most part, though, I'm doing this for me and for you, my few friends out there who like watching the show. So, because it's still May, and May is, to me, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, please do your best. Do your best for your body, your mind, and of course your emotional well-being. Do your best to stay healthy. And of course, when you get a classic-looking figure that looks good, and I don't care that she's taller than she's meant to be, she's Power Woman now, to me, it's a good reason, of course, to stay happy. Even if it's just for like 1 hour in a day, watching the video, if it makes you happy, it's great. That's what I want. And of course, when you can still somehow get up in the day, go to work, find something that you enjoy, something that helps you, it's a good way to stay positive. And on that note, you guys have a good weekend. As for next week, well, I still got some stuff to review. As you can tell, I still got some stuff to review, and I have other stuff I'll be picking up and going broke, of course. It's not easy being a toyaholic. You know what I'm talking about. But like I said, do your best to do those 3 things. And if you know someone who needs a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of help, just be out there. Because guys, let's be honest, us guys, we don't talk about our emotions that much. So, you know what? Don't discourage someone from buying action figures. Because it's healthy. And for the ladies watching out there, I don't want to sound sexist, but a lot of women out there collect purses and shoes and other things. Guys, we're simpler. We like simple things like an action figure of a hero we read in comic books. So once more, do your best, stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, mixing it up a bit, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode of On the Peg. Well, as you can see, I've been collecting DC Multiverse for a while, but we're not here to talk about my collecting action figures. We're here because one person out there that I know really likes it when I toss in some bloopers. So, Shane, here are some bloopers for you. Hey, here we are. It's another show, and that intro really doesn't work. Cut that. Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow raising, the bearded toyaholic. Yes, I can't speak anymore. I need more absence. Okay. Mustache hair. Hey, welcome back. And I forgot what I was going to say. Wow, 49 seconds in. As you can see, I do collect action figures. But that's not what we're here for at the end of the credits. Or that. Just because I know, Shane, you like these, here's some bloopers from this week. So, okay. A blooper in the thing. Whew.